Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of Imperfectly Us. I'm Kathy.
Jason.
And we are excited to be recording our 9th episode.
And we're on a roll.
We're on a roll.
Now we're on a roll, but it's going to take a break.
It is going to take a break, so we're very sorry about that. But next week, I will not be in town.
You'll be roasting your ass off.
Yes, I will. In fact, well, maybe it'll help me shed those pounds I've been struggling with.
That water weight?
So, Izzy and I, the little one and I, actually get on a plane bright and early tomorrow morning to fly to Texas. Today is my sister's due date. And in true, my family notoriously runs late for everything. And apparently, baby girl is already channeling
as of
that
7:38 on
her due date.
7th.
Yes, her due date.
Her due date. She's not here.
No. And in fact, she had a doctor's appointment yesterday. Well, actually, so back up a little bit. The wheels got put into motion last Thursday, so almost a week ago. My sister had her doctor's appointment, her weekly doctor's appointment. And they were like, you have not progressed at all. Like, baby's doing great. Mama's doing great. Baby has not made a move to come out. So, like, in the world of pregnancy, we call it, like, being dilated and effaced. And so there's all these different things that they measure for.
That go over guys' heads.
Yeah, and that you probably don't even want to know too much about anyway. But needless to say, know that none of that has happened yet. Like, not even a little bit. To the point where the doctor checked her a second time and was like, I was hoping to be able to tell you, like, a half a centimeter or something. But there's nothing. So she called me, and I think it was, like, that day after the appointment. And the game plan was that if she didn't go naturally by the 12th, so that'd be 5 days post her due date,
That's insane.
that she would be induced. And so it's just her and my brother-in-law down in Texas, and my brother-in-law's working all the time. And so, and we're starting to get close to the school year starting. Like, I'm kind of freaking out about, like, oh my God, I'm going out of town for 9 days, but, like, I have a classroom that's not set up at all. But luckily there's no carpet yet in my classroom, so I can't set it up. So it's kind of working out. It's a forced hiatus. But, she asked if we would come out early, and so that we could kind of entertain her and then also be there for the birth. So Iz and I looked at flights, and we literally, like, we're flying for, we let the prices dictate when we are going. So we're going a little bit earlier than necessary, and we're staying slightly later than necessary, but it saved us a couple $100 doing it the way that we're doing it. So we hop in a plane tomorrow morning, bright and early, and then we will be gone for 9 days.
Long time.
And we kind of expected the minute I booked the tickets last Thursday that she'd probably go into labor over the weekend. That did not happen. And then, in fact, she had her doctor's appointment yesterday. And nothing. Still. Nothing. No progress.
Not even a toe.
That's not how it works.
Not
So it's looking more and more like it legitimately will be because, like, that she may, and I don't know what this whole, like, going into labor thing is, because with Izzy we were scheduled to be induced, and then a week earlier we had to have an emergency inducement due to some the medical issues. And so, I mean, I never experienced the whole, like, oh shit, my water broke, rush to the time contractions, rush to the hospital thing, because, I mean, we were in and out of the hospital. I probably got sent, it was probably, the 9th time I got sent to the hospital that they were finally like, yeah, we're going to keep you, and we're going to induce you tomorrow bright and early.
Yeah.
But, so we're excited. But yeah, we're going to be gone for 9 days. So kind of makes it a little hard to record the podcast.
There's a way, but just enjoy it.
When we're a couple states away from each other. And yes, my sister sent me the forecast, and I swear the next 6 days, as many days as I could see on the forecast she sent me, are all over 100 in terms of temperature. And then you want to know what the lows
Well,
are?
it's a dry heat.
Yeah, that's what people say, but I don't buy it.
I don't know. You stick your head in the oven at 250 degrees. It's still hot.
Yeah. I don't recommend sticking your head in the oven, though. So, little disclaimer on that. Don't do that. Do not try that at home. Unless you're Sylvia Plath, in which case, no, not. Was it? There's a famous author. Needless to say, I digress. And the low is 80. Like the low.
So it'd be like 2 o'clock in the morning and be 80 degrees.
I don't know. I'm trying not to think about it too much. I'm not looking forward to the weather, but I am looking forward to seeing my sister and obviously being able to be a part of. And she was in the room when Izzy was born, so it's kind of come full circle. So.
Full placenta.
Yeah. It's weird when like you shouldn't.
It's come full placenta. It is.
No, yeah, you shouldn't. You shouldn't say things like that.
I still, to this day, don't know what a placenta is.
That's okay. But maybe don't use it in a sentence either.
All I know is some weird people eat it.
Yeah, we didn't do that. We did not do that. So yes, off to Texas. So you have 9 days home by yourself. Well, it's not really 9 full, like, because we fly, both of our flights are early morning flights. So it's not really
So
9 days. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
tomorrow at 4 a.m., we make the trek
Yeah.
to
Casper, stop it.
the airport.
He was scratching at the sofa.
And then I drive my hour back home
Yeah.
and then have another work day ahead of me.
Yeah. That's okay.
So
We
it's
have
gonna be
lots of
probably
coffee.
that.
I gave you a Starbucks gift card today that I found.
It's not
So,
Dunkin' Donuts.
well, you know what? You'll treat yourself to something at Starbucks instead.
Treat yourself.
I might have a Dunkin' Donuts gift card that has like 87 cents on it if you want that.
Then I can get the large.
There you go.
Yeah.
I will look for that in my wallet for you. Just
Yeah,
for
I
you.
just-
Just because I love you so much.
The 9 days, I'd rather you guys be here.
Yeah. And it's...
Like, I like you guys. Every once in a while.
What? You like us?
I need a break every once in a while, but I don't want...
Not 9 days worth?
days worth.
Yeah. Well, and I'm taking Izzy too.
Right.
So it's like not only is it... Like it's going to be a totally empty house. I mean, you do have the dog.
Yeah, we can have a great conversation together.
Well, at least he won't talk back. And he won't argue with you.
You won't nag. It's a good point.
So what's your game plan? So obviously, yeah, you have to work. But what else are you planning on doing while we're gone? Are you going to use the pool at all?
Probably not.
I'm going to be so mad at you if you don't use that
I have
pool
to
and it
check it.
sits.
But it's a 2-person job to put the cover on.
Our lovely friend who lives
Yeah.
down the road. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to call Nicole and tell her, like, every day or two.
Just come over, undress it.
Just to
Undress the
pool?
yes.
Yeah, you might want to preface that. Mike's going to be knocking on your door, kicking your ass. Just to be like, hey, go down, uncover the pool. That way he has to use it, like...
Oh, I will find a way. I will rig something up that I will not need anybody's help.
Well, it's just so sad if it sits empty. And...
Well, the only thing I would have done was sat in that raft.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so my
we found
raft
a-
got popped today. Not popped, it has a hole. You could try to patch it though,
Yeah,
and
I
I
don't
have
know
a
where the
Target gift card that I
I
can
don't
leave
know where
with
the
you, and you
patches
can pick
are.
up a new one.
I don't know where the patches are. It's right on a
You know
sink.
what I hear? A shit ton of excuses.
I'm legit just going to sit in front of the TV, play video games, got the projector. We're going to set up the projector. Maybe I'll do that outside.
You're gonna watch a movie by yourself outside.
No, I'm going to play Madden
Oh, okay.
on a projector outside.
This is where guys and girls are so different, or moms and dads, or I don't know.
Maybe catch up on some TV shows that I've missed. Heard Billions is nice.
So really, you, like 9 days, and your game plan for the whole thing, besides obviously working, is vegging out in front of the TV and playing video games.
What do you want me to do?
Oh my god!
Go to the Detroit Institute of Arts?
No, I want you to go to the gym. We do have a run later
I'll go
this
for a run.
month.
I'll go for a run.
I want you to use the pool. I would love for you to clean and organize the shed, but I know that's not going to
It's not
happen.
happening. That's a 3-person job. We only have 2 people to do it.
Well, you have 9 days. I'm sure there's some math equation we could come up with there. I don't know. This is where we're so different, though, right? Because was it last week or the week before? It was last week. I had, so Izzy grew up going to a daycare right by the high school where I teach. And she adores the lady who runs the daycare and the women that work there. And then she's made really some good friends. And in fact, like, her and one of the other girls that she made good friends with, like, they'll both be going into first grade, but at different schools. So we have been letting Izzy go back and do daycare once a week throughout the summer, on days when we need it, in case if we have something. But like the one day I needed to go into the school and work on something, but also just for fun, once a week, so she can see her friends and these ladies that helped raise her. And so I think it was last week. She went to daycare on Monday. You had work. I took Casper to the groomer and dropped him off. And so I came home and I literally had the house to myself, which is like, I mean...
For several hours.
For several hours, and that shit never happens. Like, I literally had the whole house to myself. And I went for a run.
30 minutes?
Yeah, well, more like 35, 40. And then if you take into recovering time, it was a little bit longer than that. But, so I went for a run and did my workout. And then I came home and I think I folded laundry. And I think you called me at one point and you were like, so what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm folding laundry.
Which would be there later.
Which would be there later. And you're like, why aren't you floating in the pool? And I'm like, I don't know. I feel like guilty when I have this free time, that even though I should be using this free time for a little bit of me time, because frankly, as moms, me time, like, doesn't really exist. And so I had the opportunity to do it. I have a supportive husband who's like, yeah.
Be lazy.
Be lazy. Don't fold the laundry. Be lazy. Don't worry about cleaning the house. Be lazy. Go float in your pool. And I felt so guilty about it.
Well, everything that you're going to do can be done with Isabella here. Can you relax in peace and quiet without Isabella?
No, not really. It was just so funny, though, because I'm like, I could legitimately be taking a nap right now. Like, nobody would bother me. Even the dog. I wouldn't even have to worry about the dog barking at, something blowing by. I could take a nap. And I couldn't.
Why?
I don't know. And I think part of it, I think, is part of it's just in general being a mom. And then I think part of it is, like, I doubt my abilities as a mom so much. I mean, motherhood's such a paradox in the sense that it's the one time in your life where in literally the same second, you feel strong and powerful because look at this amazing thing that you've brought into this world, and then totally weak and vulnerable. And you question yourself. Like, I never have felt more powerful as a woman, and I have never questioned myself as much as I do now as a mom. And during the school year, I have 120 plus kids. And I work weeks where, on average during the school year, my work week is about 65 to 70 hours a week. With the planning and the grading and the extracurriculars and all that kind of stuff with 120 plus kids. And so by the time I get home with my own kid, like, I feel pretty run dry. And so I don't think I question how good of a mom I am during the school year because of that. And I feel like my kid suffers because I'm just sucked dry by the end of the day. And so I think that, and my to-do list is so freaking long during the school year that I can never even get halfway through it. And so even though right now I'm on summer vacation, and I literally, for the first time ever, I'm not working a second job. I didn't pick up, normally I do a bunch of summer curriculum work or training and stuff like that. Normally I spend the last 2 years since I've gotten my classroom, I've spent a good chunk of the summer working, those days when she would go to daycare, I would go to school and I would work in my classroom and get stuff set up and everything like that. And this year I couldn't do that because we've got some construction going on, and so I can't get into my classroom, which has been a blessing in a lot of ways because it's forced me just to have a summer and enjoy the summer. But it's like I'm so used to being go, 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 a million things on my to-do list that the guilt I feel right now during summer when I do have a second to breathe and, I have the energy to put into trying to be a good mom, and, keep my house somewhat clean and have healthy food ready for my family and stuff like that. Like I have a hard time turning it off.
Dinner wasn't ready that night.
You might not make it through the night.
Just saying.
Well, I don't know.
Oh, yes.
What did we do for dinner that night?
We probably went out.
No. I'm going to have to look back at Instagram.
All of that doesn't affect that 6 hours that you are not being a parent.
Huh?
You're not parenting at that moment. You're a mom, but you weren't parenting. There was nobody here to parent. So you could have...
I know, but my point is that all year I have this mile-long to-do list and all these things that I can never have enough possible hours in the day to get done. And so even right now that I'm in vacation mode, I feel like I know there are things that should be getting done right now, and I feel guilty about not doing them.
That's on you.
No, I think it's like on moms worldwide. I think it's like a mom. You know how like we joke about having been raised Catholic that the guilt runs deep? Like I feel guilty about shit that I don't even have any control over that I still feel guilty about. Like it's just my Catholic upbringing. And I feel like it's like this like, well, for a lot of moms, it's like, like, I don't know. Apparently, it's like a chip that's implanted into us. We pop out a baby and they put this chip in that's like, you can no longer prioritize yourself. Whatever.
I think that's it.
I
think that's it.
What? They implant an alien chip?
Yes.
Well, okay. We'll go with it. So, I don't know. So the idea, like, you have 9 days by yourself, or 8.5, and...
Yeah, whatever.
Please do something productive while I'm gone. Something.
I'll do the dishes.
Well, yeah, you better do the dishes. You're going to be the one making dishes and eating clean dishes. And you plan on eating the same thing every day.
I do, I can.
So.
Chicken and sweet potato.
Yep. Maybe some vegetables, too, or some salad?
Oh, yeah, salad.
Okay. Yeah, you are a creature of habit, and you can just eat the same.
You could cook it all tomorrow. It'd be good for a week.
Yeah, I can't do that. In fact, I've already started meal planning for when I'm down in Texas. I've been sending my sister recipes to see, does this sound good? Does this sound good? Does this sound good? Because I have to be really careful. Like, my weight is up. It's even up from the last time. And, I really just don't want to fall back over 200. And I'm a little worried about being out of my element. Because right now I get up and I work out.
Barbecue.
But I get up and I work out every day, and we go for a walk, like a long walk, like 30 to an hour walk, with our friends. And I when I go outside in Texas, I don't know that I'm gonna be able to. I'm gonna break a sweat walking from the apartment to the car.
Do some laps in the pool.
Yeah. So, and they apparently do have a workout room. So I have my tennis shoes and all that stuff packed. And realistically, so the last 2 days, I kind of got back to the basics. And I don't know if you remember, like last year, like especially when I was watching my Hallmark Christmas movies, I would run like in the living room just in place while I was watching these movies. But it was a good workout. And so actually the last 2 days, I've been... watching
TV
some trash TV and running in place. And so I've actually ended up like logging some, like my Fitbits log some decent activity.
Hey, if the hills is going to make you run up hills, go ahead and do it.
I like trash TV because these people's lives are a mess, and at least I can feel a little bit better about, but it still makes me feel better about my own life.
I hope.
Yeah. As much as our lives have been a mess at certain points, it's never been that bad.
Who's that one? DB Spencer or whatever? He hasn't changed in
No,
10 years. He's still a big, giant douche.
Yeah. Well, I don't. You're dropping to a little bit too low of a negative hit for me, so I'm just not gonna say anything.
When I walked in, you're watching it. Iced coffee. Iced black coffee, not any alcohol or anything.
Yeah, did you just spill
it.
coffee on the computer?
No, next to it.
Jeez, oh Pete.
I walked in and I was like, "What is this?" And I saw him like, "Oh Jesus."
Hey, it's amusing, and I'm laughing at their shenanigans the whole time, and it sidetracks me while I'm running. So you know what? It works for me. If it's going to entertain me, and I just keep going, jogging in place, then it's served its purpose.
Yeah.
So, don't knock
I can
it.
still hate on the show.
You can hate on the show.
I'm not hating on your method. I'm hating on the show.
That's fine. I'm a lover, not a hater. So, I'm really trying to stay more positive in life. It's not been easy, but I'm trying.
I was thinking about several things today. What else you got?
So today was actually really exciting.
Why is that?
So, we ran into some pretty serious debt over the last, so many years, but really since we got married. Because if you remember, when we were getting married, and we paid for, our wedding ourselves, and I opened a Chase credit card at that time, and it was 0 APR, and so we were like, okay, we're gonna put some stuff on the credit card with the wedding, and then we'll pay it off over the coming. We will pay it off, and there's Izzy with loud noise playing in the background. We'll pay it off with, with time to spare. We had several months of 0 APR. And so we charged stuff for our wedding, and we got married in April, and things were looking great. We both, we were both making a decent, neither one of us was ever going to be rich, but together we were providing a nice living.
I was working on the line at Chrysler.
Yeah, you were bringing home more money. That's okay. She poked a hole in her picture that she was drawing. Yes, I can put tape on it. You were bringing home more money than I was, but needless to say, we were like, we can get this wedding paid off. We bought a new to us car. It was a pre-owned car, and we got a washer and dryer because we needed that. And we were like, okay, we got this. Our goal was to get the wedding and everything paid off. Obviously not the car, but make our car payment and get stuff paid off, and then start saving for a house. And then you ended up breaking your back in October.
Yeah.
So all of this, we got married at the beginning of April, and then October.
6 months of good fortune.
Our life just totally shifted. And at the time, we were really young and naive about things, and we didn't adjust our spending, even though you weren't working. And we didn't realize the depth of the issue that we were in.
I'm used to a certain lifestyle.
Yeah, I know you are used to a certain lifestyle. You just keep drinking your iced coffee. And we just continued to get into a hole. We didn't know where we were at. And in the process of all of that, we were trying to get pregnant. And due to some health issues, we had a difficult time getting pregnant. And that was the worst conversation ever. I don't know if you remember when we sat down and we had the conversation, because I never wanted to bring a baby into a bad financial situation. And we sat down and we had the conversation about whether, we should keep trying, because we hadn't been successful in getting pregnant yet, but our situation had totally changed. When we started the process of trying, we were both bringing home a steady paycheck. You were actually bringing home more money than I was. But I was providing us with really good health insurance. And so like things were looking up. And then we had a really hard time getting pregnant. And my doctor basically told me like, I don't even know if you're going to be able to get pregnant. And it's now really, or like the longer you wait, the more difficulty you're going to have in getting pregnant. And so we kind of felt like, and we had started the process and all the tests and, you know, we're getting ready to start the hormones and all that kind of stuff. And it was all just very overwhelming. And we had to have the conversation, like, do we even keep trying? Like, do we give up this possibility of being able to have a baby because we were in such a bad financial situation and not realizing even at that time, like, we still weren't at rock bottom.
How deep it was.
Yeah. And you were going from doctor to doctor because they kept sending you to all these different doctors, and we couldn't get workman's comp, and we couldn't get this, and we couldn't get disability, and we couldn't get that. And so it was like we couldn't get an answer from a doctor.
And the work doctors were pushing me around too.
Yeah, every time it was a different doctor, and they would tell us different diagnosis. And so it was just like mayhem. And it was like the debt started to it was like a snowball. And it just rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled and rolled. And we got to the point where and you were going through some personal difficulties at the time, and never really wanted to know financially where we were.
I had an idea how bad it was, but I didn't want to know the number because, I mean, I was already on the edge of
everything. Yeah. And maybe that's something that we can talk about if you ever feel comfortable opening up about that. Can you wait, please, honey? Okay. We'll call you out in just a couple of minutes. Mom's going to finish telling this. And so... Okay, we'll call you out in just a couple of minutes. Okay, thanks, Sis. So, welcome to podcasting at your kitchen table. But you never even really knew, like, so that was something that I paid the bills, so I was the one that kind of carried the weight of all of that. And it got to the point, for me, rock bottom was, we had 3 credit cards. And we had 4 credit cards, and all 4 of them were maxed out. And I didn't know how I was going to be able to buy groceries. And the credit card that had the highest limit was our Discover card. And I literally was like, these credit cards are all maxed out. And I got on the website for Discover, and Discover had magically extended our credit limit another $2,000.
So they figured they'd get more money out of us.
Yeah, and rightfully so, because we literally had no money and no way to buy groceries. And we had a baby, and well, at this time, when she wasn't even necessarily a baby, she was like a toddler, but to me, that was rock bottom. And so when I say we were in credit card debt, like, we had gotten to the point where, and I'm almost embarrassed to say, but I think it's important to be real and for people to understand that, like things are never perfect. And we were very lucky in the fact that, like, my mom and my stepdad and my sister and your dad and your stepmom, like, were so great about making sure that Isabella never went without. Like, my mom and my stepdad played for soccer every time, and, you know, different things like that. And not just because of, like, birthdays and Christmases, you know what I mean? Like, just went out of their way to, like, a couple years ago, Izzy got to go to Disney, this amazing Disney vacation, because your dad and stepmom took us. Like, so it never, people, I don't think, even knew how bad things were behind closed doors, because it was this appearance that everything was great.
It's a social media life.
And the Instagram story. But I think on the same token, too, that part of it also really appeared to be fine because we were continuing to still make bad decisions. Because we were in so deep that it was like, how do you come out of this? And so, like, I mean, we got to the point where when we maxed out the Discover card before they added another $2,000, we maxed it out at $14,000. So when you add up all of the different credit card debt, we had over $25,000 in credit card debt. And luckily my mom stepped in and she helped us pay
nothing
off.
to show for it.
And literally nothing to show for it. Just stress and bills and absolutely nothing to show for it. We really kind of buckled down over the last, did you say 2 years?
Yeah.
2.5 years. And that we rent a house for my mom, and that helps because it keeps that finance really low. We don't, it's difficult because, like, we don't own our own house. And so I never thought I was going to be in my...
$27,000 in debt. How can we own our own?
I never thought I was going to be in my mid-30s and renting a house for my mom, but I am. But we really just focused on trying to get stuff paid off. I got an inheritance when my papa passed away, that my mom very generously took her inheritance and gave us each a little bit. And that went towards credit card. Like, how sad is that? Like, it went towards credit card debt. And my mom loaned us some money and so that we could pay down one of the credit cards because that was the thing too. We were in so deep that literally all we were doing was paying interest payments. Mm-hmm. Like, we weren't even, we weren't even lowering the principal. And so we really, really refocused ourselves. And so we worked on getting, like, one of them paid off. And then I got another one of them paid off. And then I got the third one paid off. And then we were just sitting on this Discover that had just this mountain of a balance. And I remember actually, do you remember when we bought our couch like a year ago?
Yeah.
And it was so amazing because we went into, it was Art Van, I think. And we actually bought it with, and mind you, we got a really cheap couch, but we actually bought it like and used our debit card. And like that day was a day where it was like, okay, working this hard, like there is a light, and working this hard is meaningful and it's important, and we have to keep plugging away. And we actually, I am very happy to say,
drum roll.
I know, right? Drum roll. I kind of get a little like choked up, but I called you about it today after I put the payment down and you didn't answer. But we are officially credit card debt free.
Woohoo!
Like, I paid the last of the balance on the Discover card. I wanted to pay bills before leaving to go out of town. And so
I wasn't going to get done with me.
No, because I do all of the finances. You're welcome. That's why I have this whole patch of gray hair on the top of my head, because I'm the one that oversees all of that stuff. And there were times where, like, I would sit down to pay and I'd have a panic attack. Or I would be sobbing at the table and, like, you couldn't even comfort me because you didn't really know what was going on. But you knowing what was going on was just going to create a whole issue for you. And then it was like, I was still going to have to deal with the financial issue, but then I was also going to have to deal with the issue that you had going on.
I know that when women are crying at the kitchen table, it's probably best just to walk on by.
Yeah. And so super excited. Like, and to the point actually where one of the Chase credit cards is due at the beginning of the month. And so I had already paid down like that. Like, that's because everything's in my name. And so you have a credit card that you carry that's in my name.
You're demasculating me right now.
I'm sorry. I'm more than happy to turn all the bills over to you. But so I had paid it like off at the beginning of the month, whatever, like, because you use it for gas sometimes and stuff like that. And you had used it again for something like since I paid the bill that was due at the beginning of the month. And so there was like $25 or something like that on it. And I was like, shit, I am paying that down. Like, I went and paid all the little bits that were on the credit cards. So, like, literally none of the credit cards have a balance with the exception of I used my American Express Delta card to pay, like, because that way I got the frequent flyers, miles, and stuff like that, and the free checked bag for the ticket for Izzy and I. And I'm happy to report, though, even with that, I've already put, like, and paid half the paid for one of the tickets, even though the bill hasn't even come. Like, the billing period's not even over.
Is this your way of handcuffing me to make sure I don't spend any money?
So yeah, don't spend a lot of money.
There's nothing in the
well,
account.
first of all, there's not much in the. I actually did leave a little bit in the account in case you needed it, but yeah, like we are for the first time, God, in like 9 years.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, we still have money that we're paying my mom back. That she had loaned us.
It's like a third of what the credit card bill was.
Oh yeah, I mean we're making good progress. So today was an exciting day for that.
It was a good day for you to do it too, because now you're going out of town.
And now I'm going out of town, and I know that all of the bills are paid, with the exception of DTE. The bill hasn't come yet, so I haven't been able to pay it, but it will eventually come. So I was really excited today. Like, I kind of did a happy dance in the kitchen after I paid the bills, and was happy nobody was around to see it. Because Isabella was like playing in her room or whatever, and you were at work, and so I happy danced around the kitchen. But it also just goes to show you, like, people have an image of what other people's lives are like. That doesn't mean that that's what they're like.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, we literally didn't have money to buy groceries. Nobody ever would have known that. I mean, the people I work with day to day don't know how bad. I remember there was an event for school that we were both going to go to, but in order for us both to go to it, I had to buy 2 tickets, and we couldn't afford it. And so I could buy the ticket to, like, and it was like a $20 ticket, and we couldn't swing it. So if anyone is in a similar boat out there, keep working at it. Because I can't even put into words how amazing it feels to finally start to feel some of that weight lifted. And I mean, you know, and my friends know, like, I really want another baby. I want to at least try. Isabella was...
I want to try too.
Okay, I also want to be successful. Isabella was very much our miracle baby, and we may be a one and done. The hormones made me really sick when we got pregnant with her. And I'm older. I'm much older now.
And my guys are more confused than
yeah,
ever.
they're more confused than ever. They didn't swim in a straight line to begin with. So now they're really zigzaggy.
They got CTE.
But I desperately... And that's something maybe we should talk about another time too, because people always are like, so, especially now that my sister's pregnant. When are you having a second? And it's like, well, it's not as simple as that. Like, it's not as simple as that for the medical reasons. But it's also hasn't been as simple as that because we literally, like, our house is not even 1,000 square feet.
What do you mean?
We don't have a basement. We don't have an attic. We don't have a garage. We're already tripping over everything.
We have an attic. We could put somebody up in the attic.
We don't have an attic.
We have one in the laundry room.
Yeah, like literally that you can like
port.
put your head up in.
It's an attic.
No.
It's not a functional attic.
Are you going to go stay there? Because I'm certainly not putting one of my babies up there.
Well, it doesn't do anything for the room. Like, we're still have the same amount of rooms.
But, like, it finally, like, maybe someday we'll actually be able to buy a house.
Well,
and that never even seemed like a possibility before. So we'll see. And then maybe we can try to have a second baby.
Maybe. We can try. What was that for trying?
Well, we'll talk more about infertility is a whole other, and second babies and stuff like that. I mean, that could be its own podcast. But we'll talk about that another time. But it was a good day. It was a good day to get. And also, I was panicked last week. Like, I really struggled buying those plane tickets. I want to go see my sister. I want to be there for all of that. But I had a heck of a time trying to. And that's why we're going for 9 days, is because I literally looked for the cheapest option I could. But it feels good to know that, like, that didn't cripple us.
Yeah.
So, whew, relief.
Do we want to get the child?
Yes, we do want to get the child. So, Izzy.
Do you want to do healthy hack first?
Yeah, let's do our healthy hack. So, Kathy's healthy hack.
Healthy hack!
Lay's Poppables. Specifically, the creamy jalapeno.
On a steak.
No, not jalapeno on a steak. just creamy jalapeno poppables are so good.
These were outstanding.
So they're perfectly poppable, crispy potato bites. But I love jalapeno chips. I love jalapeno Cheetos.
It's your perfect road trip snack. It's a jalapeno flavored anything.
Something, yes. But they're these poppable, creamy jalapeno flavored from Lay's. And so I think when I put it in my app, because I just wanted like a couple, like with like a sandwich or whatever for lunch, and I think I could have 14 for 2 points. So nice low point, but really good option. I will post a picture on my Instagram, BellaBugsMama13. But while we're speaking of Instagram,
yeah, we finally have an Instagram. So I'll actually post a picture of it on our Instagram, which is _imperfectlyus_podcast. So if you are on Instagram, you should check us out and follow us and interact with us there. And we're going to work on slowly getting the content kind of caught up, and I'll go back and post some previous healthy hacks. But yeah, this time the healthy hack is Lay's Poppables. And I can't speak to any other flavors because I've only had the creamy jalapeno, but I'm not sure that I will buy. If I can find creamy jalapeno, I'm not sure I'll buy any other flavor. Because, man, are they delicious. And they are the perfect, like, salty side to replace potato chips. So I kept trying to get you to put them on a sandwich.
Yeah, you really want. And you actually also wanted to crush them up and put them on chicken, as like a breading. So that is the healthy hack this time. And joining us now is Miss Izzy. Hello. Izzy. Yes, anxious Izzy. What did you want to say?
I'm swimming underwater now.
She is swimming underwater now. Yes, you and Raylan are doing such an awesome job swimming underwater.
This is actually the first time.
Yeah, you did a great job.
And we are walking already. I went to one end, I went to an end, and went to the other end.
Yeah, you swam from one side of the pool to the other underwater with your goggles on.
And with my eyes open.
Yeah, with your eyes open with the goggles. And I can't even begin to express what a big deal this is. Because she was the kid before, and it drove me insane. Like, I learned how to swim when I was 3.5.
Yeah, my dad threw me in the pool at 4. He said swim.
And she was the kid that if a little bit of water got splashed in her face, she freaked out and wanted to get out. And so now you are swimming underwater. Mm-hmm. Are you sure you're not turning into a mermaid?
Or a frog.
No, frogs don't swim underwater. Frogs they don't go underwater. They like to float on the top of the water.
They do like to be on lily pads, but I do think they also swim underwater, too.
They do.
They might float. I saw one float.
Okay, well, just because you saw one float doesn't mean that's true of all frogs all the time. Okay? So can we admit that maybe at 6 years old we don't know everything?
Yeah. We can admit that.
We can admit that?
Mm-hmm.
Because you seem to think you know everything. Is that true? What are you trying to do?
Get on your
So, where are you going tomorrow, Isabella?
We are flying out of Michigan.
Mm-hmm. To?
Where are you going?
Forget.
Well, who are you going to see?
Danny and See.
We're going to Texas. Or, according to the weather report, the surface of the sun.
I do not envy you guys for that.
It's going to be so hot. So she's very excited. Are you excited to fly?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Anything else you wanted to tell everybody?
No.
No? Well, we're really proud of you about swimming underwater.
Mm-hmm.
You keep it up, okay?
Okay.
We're going to practice when because they have a pool down there, too.
It's a bigger pool.
More to practice. And she's been doing really good about swimming on her back, too. So, our goal this summer, I think we even talked about early on this summer in the podcast, is that we really, like, if we could achieve 2 things this summer, we wanted to teach her, we wanted her to learn how to swim, and we wanted her to learn how to ride a bike.
3. Tired shoes, too.
Okay. Well, so remember last time you brought up that there were 3 things, and then for the life of you couldn't remember what the third thing was?
Yeah.
So, apparently the third thing is tying her shoes. But considering we haven't been able to remember what that third thing was for the past several weeks, you can guess how the progress on it went.
Well, you have 9 days in Texas to teach her how to tie shoes.
Okay.
Which you guys probably don't have laces
No.
on your shoes when you're going down there.
I'm taking a pair of tennis shoes so I can work out.
There you go.
So I do have a pair of tennis shoes packed and workout stuff. So yeah, we can try, right? Okay. You want to say goodbye to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So
Goodbye.
thanks for coming in to talk with us, okay? Mommy and Daddy are actually going to be wrapping up.
Go
No.
brush your teeth.
So go brush your teeth.
No, I want you to keep talking.
Well,
No.
we're getting to the end of the episode.
You
So
gotta be up in like 4 hours.
no.
How many hours?
You are not very good with math right now.
How many hours?
Not 4 hours, honey.
How many hours?
We have to be leaving in 8 hours.
8 hours.
Which means you have 8 hours of sleep to
Can
get.
you not eat your hair, please? All right. So
Oh,
thank you for coming in and joining us, Iz. We love you.
Casper, want to say goodbye?
No, Casper's asleep on the couch. He's good. All right, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, right? Is there anything else you wanted to talk about? We did talk about going a little bit long today because obviously we're probably not going to be able to record. Well, we're not going to be able to record one next week. And it kind of just depends when we fly in on Saturday.
Yeah.
If we
might
can
be able
try
to
to
do
do one on Saturday. And hopefully we'll have some exciting stories to share from Texas.
Even if we do it on Sunday, then we can post it on Monday.
Yeah, so we'll try to get back on track as quickly as possible.
Because that will set us nice back up for fall.
Yeah.
School year.
Oh my God, summer's almost over.
We're not going to do Wednesday nights in the fall.
Yeah, probably not. Because we don't even know when soccer's going to be. We haven't gotten
we
that
can do that.
information either.
We might be able to transition into our Monday nights or our Monday morning releases like we
Yeah.
started out with.
Yeah, so we'll be working back towards getting recording over the weekend and then posting on Mondays. But and I don't know if we're going to be able to do every week. We'll see. Just the fall is always a very interesting time for us.
The first couple weeks will be difficult.
Yeah. I fall asleep at like 5:15 in the afternoon.
Oh, we did that though this week. We went to bed at like 8 o'clock.
Yeah, we did.
And it was awesome. I was up at like 10:30 wide awake. I'm like, oh, this is beautiful.
And then you got to go back to sleep.
And then I got back to sleep.
So yeah, I think we talked about before how we used to save ourselves from eating. We would go to bed. But frankly, when school starts back up, like if you need me after 8 o'clock, like the only time I'm ever up after 8 o'clock is if I'm still working. Because with broadcasting, I'll be with my kids at different shoots and stuff like that. And basically, if it is a weeknight and it is 8 o'clock or later, like, don't call, don't text, because I'm asleep. Or I'm laying in bed to fall asleep.
Or playing Rummy Cube.
Or playing Rummy on my phone. Or scrolling Facebook or Instagram. Or
Okay.
Pinterest.
Okay.
I love all the stuff.
You like your phone.
I do like my phone. Yes, you've pointed that out before many times. So with that said, you don't have to miss us while we're on hiatus. While we're in Texas, you could just be following us on Instagram.
Or catch back up on past episodes.
Yeah. So don't forget about subscribing and sharing and liking. We're on everything now. And you can follow us on Instagram. Once again, if you're going to follow us on Instagram, it's _imperfectlyous_podcast. And then my personal Instagram is BellaBugsMama13, in case you want to follow that and look back at any of the old. And I will work on getting the old healthy hacks uploaded.
Okay.
So thanks for joining us. Wish us luck on our flight and that we don't melt because it's going to be so damn hot. And I look forward to hopefully sharing some exciting stories and hopefully I'm hoping I have smooth travels flying by myself. I'm not much of a traveler myself. I love to travel, but I just haven't done it a lot.
Right now, so.
Okay, so we'll shut it down now. So thanks for joining us. This has been Imperfectly Us. I'm Kathy.
I'm Jason.
And we'll talk to you soon.